Welcome to the Ramsey Forest project. Hang on, it's not called that anymore. Let's rewind that. Welcome to the Hairpin Woodland Park. Absolutely wonderful resource right on the edge of Ramsey. Let's go have a look around, eh? So this wonderful resource is available for anyone to come and visit. As I say, it's right on the edge of Ramsey at the Hairpin, just off the TT circuit. And what a welcome this is. Brilliant. Let's go have a look at this, eh? Here at the Welcome Pavilion, you get to know what's going on at the park, what it's for, and why it's all here. It's an absolutely amazing place to come and visit with kids, as you will see in a moment, or even just families and go for a walk. So we're going to have a bit of a proper explore and see what else there is. So come on then, let's go down the track.
Deep breath, high tides, blue sky. Oh yeah. Oh. Hold tight, light breeze. You're all I need.
So after a short walk, we get to our first. Well, actually, look at the views. So as you can see, Ramsey is fully integrated into part of the Hairpin project, and the Hairpin Park, sorry. Absolutely wonderful location. And as I say, after a short walk, we get to his first engagement area for the young people, or the old people, or just for people. How could you balance? Can you balance along the beams? There's a hope towards the lookout. Let's see if I can balance all the way along the beams. So everything that is built here has been built from trees felled from within the woodland, and the only things which have been brought in have been screws, basically. We'll get to that bit later. Let's have a look down here first. So you've got the lookout, which is exactly what it sounds like. Come up here for a fantastic view overlooking where you've just climbed. And in winter, again, this is a great view all the way down into Ramsey. More balance beams to have a go along. You can do this one either way with steps at the end. And through the archway. After a short walk, you arrive here. This is one of my favourite buildings that I've put up. And yeah, let's have a bit of an interesting story of it. So this here was built, what would it be now, 4 years since, I think. And as I say, everything that has been built in the Hairpin Park has been built from timber milled from trees from in here. Now that sounds like a really terrible idea, doesn't it, to try and kind of like encourage the growth of a woodland, of a wooded area, is to cut down the trees and build stuff from it. But this is all built from larch. Larch is what was planted on here extensively back in 1950, and it's not native. It's not wildlife rich. You can hear all the birds. I hope you can hear all the birds, because it is phenomenal this morning what's going on. So the plan of what was originally the Ramsey Forest project and then the Hairpin Park is to create this semi-native wooded area which spreads the whole width of Ramsey, and now out towards Glen Alden as well, which we'll have a quick wander out that way. So all these trees needed to come down. They were not ideal. They didn't really want to be here. They're not the most wildlife friendly. So everything that was built, all the trees that all the trees that this was built from, hang on, let me just see if I can spin round, literally came from that clearing up there. I hope you can see that. And everything was felled, milled and built by us.
I'm falling for you. I'm falling for you. I'm falling for you.
So just from here, I lost my microphone and didn't get any audio. So I'm standing on the top of what has now been called the Lookout, and this was always the Spiral Fort. And this was the first item that we built down here, and this was around about 8 years since this was built. The whole area was cleared of larch and western hemlock, with the larch, which I'm just tapping there, being useful, and that is the wood that we can build with, naturally tannalized in the centre. It grows really well, and it also keeps really well. As you can see from these pieces of wood, they have weathered really well. Hemlock is of no use, and that was actually used as borders for within the hazel maze, which is just down below us here. This was really created as a site to allow people to see something spectacular when they got to the top of the climb here as well. The views out of this area in winter are phenomenal, which is also when I was building it. The whole of the Spiral Fort is logs. There is earth and hardcore packed on top of the walkway, but it is all logs underneath, and all the logs are secured together as well. The undertaking of this work was my first venturing into the partnership which we have created here, doing the construction for the Wildlife Trust, and it is, it's amazing to see the amount of people which have used this and how things have grown up around it as well since. There's a couple of coins being hammered in just in front of us there, which is quite funny. Maybe that's going to be a thing that starts up, but wow, just from a walk up here to let yourselves get your breath back is absolutely stunning. I can highly recommend it to anyone. And when we were actually building it, I did notice you could see it from down at the co-op down in Ramsey. But you don't get much better than that view, do you? That's absolutely amazing. A few trees were felled off. This is above the quarry that the whole of the park is kind of like anchored round at the Hairpin. So that's a very big drop just over there. So yeah, we'll head off on up, and it's the Logsticle course just up at the top with a little bit of the hazel maze first. The hazel maze has absolutely developed fantastically. These hedges now are nigh on impenetrable. When it was first set up, you could see through and see the route to go, but it's really difficult now. Up here, we're now heading up the hill onto the top, which is where the Logsticle course is. This is for those who are a bit more adventurous. Again, everything built from larch, which has been milled, and this is just to create a path through the trees for you to follow with a couple of obstacles. So let's have a run along it now.
I'm falling for you. 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 Breathe in, breathe out. Take it slow, let's go.
The monkey bars here are one of my favourite obstacles. The brief for this set of monkey bars was supposed to be about a metre to a metre and a half long. I think they top out at about 4.8 metres. The logs that make the main beams were all cut from one tree, which had a slight curve to it, so it did actually make the monkey bars a bit higher than we intended in the middle. Where these are built, there was actually no larch, in this area, so everything had to be dragged up from lower down in the woodland, at which point it was just a case of making things as big and as chunky as possible, with everything held together with some very big bolts. Everything is dug into the ground all the way down to the bedrock, and then has been supported up. We did buy the monkey bars just to make sure that they were safety rated and attached in with their own fixings as well. It is a bit of a challenge to get from one end of these monkey bars to the other, but that's all part of the fun. And yeah, just absolutely amazing. When we put them in place, we ended up having to use a chain hoist to actually lift these beams, because they were so heavy that the two of us were struggling to stand them up, and the same with the uprights as well. Everything had to be hoisted into position, and everything here was actually dug by hand. There was no machinery other than myself, Sam, who was working with me, and as chainsaws. You know, that was the limit of what we had. So proper chainsaw engineering at its finest. A wonderful thing, and it's really nice to see people using it. So now let's head on a bit further. So moving on here, we're right along the top of the Woodland Park. This, if you know Ramsey Grammar School's cross-country course, is the very top of the cross-country course. You've gone up the Killer Hill and then you run across the top section. Obviously, if you've done it recently, you will have seen the Logsticle course and the various bits and pieces that have been built. This also borders onto the farmland, and I do believe is somewhere where the ruin of the old Clabane farm was. Whilst we were working on the Logsticle course, we had an elderly gentleman come past, and he was explaining to us about how he used to come up as a kid and played in the wood, well, in these fields before the trees were planted, which was absolutely amazing. We've always been met with a bit of a mixed response about what we've been doing with the work, which varies from people saying, why do you need to build this? Kids should just be able to come to play, to the amount of people which are over the moon with what's being done. Obviously, of course, what we're building and the whole ethos and the idea that the Wildlife Trust is coming up with. It's amazing the education that you can put in place as well. We had people criticising us for felling the trees, but once we explained what we were doing, it was absolutely fantastic. Obviously, that's the whole purpose of the Welcome Pavilion down just as you enter off the Hairpin, is to highlight why this work is done. And this here is an amazing example of that. We're coming into an area which has had no work done. This is a fully commercial fully commercially planted plantation here. And you can see there is absolutely no life in the bottom of this compared to where we've just come from, where there's been an introduction of broadleaves and the removal of some of the coniferous planted trees. I do believe this area is going to be one of the next, because this has been marked up on an area where I can fell from for the next things that we're building. The only trouble is going to be trying to extract timber from here. It's not going to be the easiest, and it's so funny to see the changes which have taken place over the whole site, because when we first came here, much of the site did look like this, other than the valleys. The valleys all had broadleaves within them and were very choked with brambles, which is great for nature. Obviously not so great for people getting around. But I'm really looking forward to seeing what actually develops on this area. This will be really good to watch. So I'm heading back downhill now, and we're going to go out onto the flatlands and through some of the other areas which don't look much like a woodland, but there.
Palm trees, soft sand, don't need no plans. Oh, yeah. I'm falling for you. I'm falling for you.
Even down on the lower section, out of the reach of the main bit of the woodland, there's these wonderful little valleys which come up with the wooded areas. And just in here, you just actually saw there is a dam and a waterfall up there, which is along this old track, which could have been an access track from the Glen Alden out towards the quarry, or as a drove road. The grass fields around here are a real wealth of wildlife. There's a lot of trees growing up in these areas, and this was my realisation that I'd lost the microphone, probably at the top of the hill. So as I was saying, these fields are as important as the trees and the wooded areas to the whole project together, and it is wonderful to see the work that has been done working with local contractors and also businesses to produce this great resource.
Well, there we go. Video's coming to the end, and the realisation that my microphone wasn't working through most of that has created a voiceover situation, because I am not walking all the way back through there just to redo that video. So it's not going to be as good as I had hoped, this video, which is a real shame. Next week, as I say, I am off island from Wednesday coming now, so who knows what's going to be in this coming video, which will be coming out the following week, because I'm getting myself really rolled up now. And yeah, Ramsey Hairpin Woodland Park, come and visit it. It's absolutely amazing, and it is only getting better. Absolutely spectacular. Thank you so much for likes, subscribes and follows, and I'll see you later.